And it looks like we're recording, so I'm happy to be here again. Every time I get here every week, Sebastian, I'm proud of myself because doing a podcast every week, it takes responsibility. But
It does.
I've got Sebastian Uzcategui,
Yeah, out of the
Uzcategui,
first time, yeah, it was
and,
Kentucky.
and
There you
yeah, and I get it's a little far away, and I don't have my glasses on, but
go.
I like the way you broke it down for me. But I appreciate you being here. Sebastian was an entrepreneur at 16 years old. He started his own gig. So we got a good talk with Sebastian. We met on Clubhouse, right?
Yeah, Clubhouse.
Yeah. I love Clubhouse. I could talk all day about Clubhouse with people. But this is our channel. We're going to talk about the stuff that we always talk about here with the Fighting Network. Or we don't like to go much longer than 20 minutes. Sometimes we'll get going and we'll go 30 minutes. I think the longest was 43 minutes, and it was with a guy that Jim Britt. It was like 3 episodes ago.
Wow.
Jim Britt was just the guy shared the stage with the greatest of greatest speakers on the planet. I mean, it's just the guy had so much wisdom, and I went like double time with Jim.
That's great.
And Sebastian, you're only 21, I think, right?
Yeah, 21 in May.
21.
21, yeah.
That's sick. And you started as an entrepreneur at 16, and you didn't like school, you told me. Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, I didn't do good in school at all. Bad grades only because I've always been the kind that I can't fake interest in things, and my priority, I always saw kind of through everything. My priority was I want to be financially successful and completely independent by the age of 20 or 21, right? So I viewed all of this other stuff as it's not going to get me there, So when I was in school, I only passed because I paid a kid to do my homework. if I'm being, if I'm
You
being honest.
slide dog.
Yeah, but while I was doing all that, I started my first company at 16 selling t-shirts, and school was kind of like my network, and it taught me a lot that set me up for my next and bigger business ventures later in life.
So you had an organized t-shirt business at 16 years old?
Yeah, 16. And then once quarantine hit, it kind of fell apart. And
Yeah,
then that's
yeah,
when I started my current business, 2020.
yeah. So how long did you do that? Did you get a bunch of customers?
I did actually. I started with a friend, and that was kind of my first big lesson in business was it's kind of hard to manage things with a partner. You really have to be able to make sharp decisions almost on your own, right? After my partner left and I was left in charge of the whole thing, I multiplied all the sales that we had made by 8 myself. And that really got me started. Like, gave me a ton of cash so I could start getting LLCs and doing things like ads and all sorts of things. That was really a kickstart. And again, I learned a lot. I learned so much from that.
Sebastian, if somebody, because a t-shirt business is a pretty cool thing. I wasn't even thinking of starting a little t-shirt gig on the side myself, just for my own t-shirts. And if someone wanted one, they could get it.
Yeah, give it
But
to 'em.
how would simple 3, 4 steps for somebody to get started in a t-shirt business today and be in business tomorrow? How would they do that?
Oh, well, teacher, it's really competitive, and today everything seems to carry on through social media. If we're talking steps 1 through 3 or 4, first step is finding the product, but the second step, before even focusing on anything else, is finding customers. People wait way too long to find customers. You got to find people to buy your stuff, otherwise the product, what do they call it, proof of concept, isn't there, right? Got to find customers for your product, and then lastly, you can really focus on just full expansion. I would get on social media as fast as possible. That'd be the big thing.
Okay, but who would I go to? Like I just had some. It's funny because every a few times a month I'll always have a thought, and I'll say to myself, "Oh, that would be a good T-shirt." But how could I get that T-shirt done like immediately, and just get one for myself so I could show people, and then if they wanted that T-shirt, how could I get that thing set up so quick?
Oh, what I did to really just get started quickly, because that's what I was all about, fast. Like the sooner I can get it started, the sooner I can get sales, the better. I just use whatever third-party company like Teespring that I could just post a design onto the shirt, and they already make it for you whenever you want to sell it.
Teespring?
Teespring, yeah, that's where I had started. It's pretty good just to kind of get a footing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and after that, you can just start your own website.
Okay, so now you don't like school, you're like more interested in t-shirts and stuff, and then you get some experience with that. So how does your life as a young entrepreneur, because it's only been 4 or 5 years, what happened next?
Well, after quarantine hit, everything slowed down. I kind of lost interest in t-shirts, to be honest, because it was good income at school, but I decided that I wanted to build something bigger, something of my own. I wanted to almost create something. T-shirts have already existed,
What
you
was
know what I'm saying?
what was the big income? How much money did you make and that was big for you? $1,000?
Well, at that time, something like 2, 3 grand, which was,
That was good.
good for a high schooler, right? It gave me enough to get licenses for my next business and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, after quarantine hit, I lost interest in the t-shirts. And one thing I had been teaching myself how to do for a long time was investing. And I had a conversation with some guy who told me, I was talking to him about investing. I was teaching him some stuff, and he told me I should start a business. And I did right away. That same week, I started paying people, websites, social media managers, as much as I could. I spent the money from the t-shirts on building this new website where I could teach people how to trade. And that was my next business and my current business as well.
So what are you trading?
I do options trading, but I also do long-term. Everything that's SPY, Apple, Meta, all these big companies is what I trade in.
And so this is going to be your gig for, what do you think? You're going to keep doing this for a long
I
term?
love it. Because it helped me. It's exactly what I was looking to do. I wanted to build my own thing, and my whole thing is, a lot of these other investing courses are super overpriced and they're very inaccessible to most people. I wanted to be something that people could feel comfortable getting into. So my whole thing was, I want to charge very little. I want to make people feel comfortable and all that stuff. So it helped me really add something to the world. And that's what I wanted to do.
So how did you get involved in trading? Tell me how that happened.
Yeah, good question. When I was really, really young, it was one of my birthdays,
Yeah, but
and
you're really, really young now. I mean, I'm in
well,
my
I was really, really,
you
really young.
just hit 20.
Yeah, yeah. But I was even younger, I was fresh out the womb almost, let's
Okay.
just say, by your standards, right?
Yeah.
And so it was my birthdays, and I don't know. I didn't my whole life I've just anything material, I'm always thinking this is gonna make me happy today, but I want something that can build something for the future. I'm always uneasy unless I'm successful, you know what I'm saying? So I asked, instead of, something you'd ask for a birthday as a 12-year-old, I wanted to learn how to invest. So I told my dad if he could put me in some courses, and he did. And I had been learning ever since then.
You told your dad, or did you ask your dad?
I asked my dad. That's right. I asked kindly, very kindly. I asked my dad to help me get into some courses.
That's good. Are you a good student now?
For what I care about, yeah. When it comes to, well, what's going to make me more money, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because you can't be investing with someone that wasn't a good student. But we understand it because you remind me of myself. I hope my mother doesn't listen to this podcast. I remember in the fifth grade, I wanted to quit school. I was like, I'm out of here.
Fifth
Fifth
grade.
grade, I
Wow.
was like not interested. I remember going, and when they dropped us off to this, to go to school as little kids, everyone would go into school and I'd go exit stage left, and I'd be in the sandbox playing over there by myself in the sandbox. I did not like school either, but that doesn't mean we're stupid.
No, 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 absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. It's kind of like you just see through the game and you're just kind of like, this isn't really what's going to help you out or benefit you.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Only child, actually. We came
Oh,
here
that's a
when I was very
good
young. Yeah.
boy. Then you're an interesting guy. See, I had a brother, Jeffrey, that went to Harvard, so I knew I wasn't stupid. I says, well, okay, if I liked school, maybe I would have went to Harvard. So that was a good thing for me. He kind of gave me some confidence. But tell me now what happened. So we met on Clubhouse, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I have a club talk I do on Thursdays, and I just love the Clubhouse. I love it because you can meet someone there, and then you could be talking to them face to face, like the next hour, 2 hours. You'd be talking face to face like we are now, because we're doing a video talk, right?
Yeah.
And this audio will be used for the podcast. But I think I might put this also up on my YouTube channel. And so when we met there, what was your purpose? Why are you there? What are you doing over there? Are you networking? Tell me what's going on with Clubhouse.
Uh, well, I actually met Pastor Michael, who's the host of the room that I was in when I was working in real estate. And we had so many great conversations. I'm mostly there out of pure habit and pleasure. I love talking. I love sharing about the mindset behind business with everyone and helping people in whatever way I can. It does help me network a little bit. People have joined my business from there. which I'm very happy for because I'm able to help them and help them change their lives through investing. But I'm mostly just there because I love to talk, man. I love to share and I love to learn.
Yeah. And so what's the objective when you meet? Because you've got to be networking, in the fighting networker, we're always networking. We're always
Always.
meeting new people. We have a plan to, maybe expose everybody we meet to what we do. If it seems right, we do it. If it doesn't seem right, we don't do it. And so your gig is you're hoping that you can expose people to what you know and they can invest with you. Is that right?
Well, that's part of it, yeah. But well, yeah, that's the big thing is I want to spread awareness as to things that people might be missing in their life. A lot of people, it
Yeah.
hasn't occurred to them that they have to put their money to work for them. You have
Yeah.
to invest your cash in one thing or another.
Can you give a little value? Give something that might encourage people if they're ever thinking of investing. Because I'll tell you what, I'd love to have you back here in a year to see how you're doing. Okay,
Oh, I'd love to be.
and then a year after that, and then a year after that, and we can document your journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be great,
Okay, so
actually.
let's say I'm going to invest with you. Okay, how much do I have to give you?
Well, you don't give me anything, actually. I don't take money from anyone. I believe in the saying, you can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach him how to fish and feed him for life. I really am all about providing value and guiding you and teaching you how to do it yourself. That's a big thing. But if you're asking how much to start with, you can start your own trading account with about a $500. I typically recommend between 500 and 1,000. You could do less, but it's going to require a different trading strategy altogether.
Okay, and then do I pay you for counseling, for coaching, for guidance? Is that how we work together? Do I pay you that way?
Well, it's a number of things that I have as a part of my business. It's education. That's the number one thing is I teach you how to do it from 0 to 100. I have people that have no experience. I had one woman recently make 10 grand, and she was one of my newer members with zero experience prior to that. And it's a lot of teaching, but it's also kind of like a learn as you go and also profit as you go. So I also trade call out the things that I buy, so you have the same results that I do. All sorts of things like that. It's really just a learning environment to help you get started as an investor.
And how do you communicate this? Do you communicate this on social, on in a group somewhere, on Telegram, or how does that work?
We have a Discord. We have a Discord that's right to call everything out, the news, it's market alerts, what's going on in the market, the opportunities, all that stuff. And it's every single day that I call that stuff out. So there's literally movements happening every day that you can profit from.
And you're saying you really like doing this, huh?
My biggest passion. I love it. Making money
That's,
seemingly out of thin air online in the stock market and helping other people do the same. I mean, it's living the dream.
yeah, I do know. When I was your age, well, not quite, I was 25, I stumbled across an opportunity and it fit me like a glove because it had to do with fitness and health and nutrition and stuff. And that was always my gig. And I got started because I hated working in the automotive industry. I sold cars for a living. That was my job. But
Hmm.
I always wanted to be my own boss. Are you your own boss? Is that right?
Yes. Completely
Okay.
my own.
So do you have a name for your company? Have
Yeah.
you named yourself? What do you call it?
My company is Stocks University, although the website is just stocksuni.com.
Stocks University? That's
Stocks
awful
University.
freaking heavy. That's all right. I went into business and I was in health and fitness. And
Hmm.
so I said, what am I going to call I called myself the New England Health Connection. And that
Okay.
was the
All
first
right.
name. It's evolved over the years and it's just evolved into Jack Silva Online. But that was like 40 years later. It's funny how things happen. So that name of yours might change.
Oh, definitely. Actually, it's already undergoing a bit of a change. I've taken a Yeah, already, it's only been a couple of years I've been running this, and I'm already changing the name a little bit because I want to take a bit of a more personal approach.
Yeah.
So I'm doing kind of the same thing you do. You say you changed it to Jack Sill. I'm kind of changing it to my name, kind of skipping the last name
There you
because
go. You change it to your name. It helped me a lot. And you know something,
it
loving what
does.
you do for work is what I was getting at. Sebastian, I love what I do for work. It's a passion of mine. And I'm going to take a little commercial break here because if you love healthy smoothies the way I love healthy smoothies, you will love a new service I just put together called SmoothieTexts.com. And someone subscribes, let's say, for example, that likes smoothies. It's free to subscribe. And every single day at lunchtime, they'll get a text message with an image of the smoothie mix and the ingredients, and then a little video and the flavor. And every day, and if they want a canister, they just press number 1 and it's sent to them immediately, so they don't have to log in or anything. And every day at lunch, they'll get another smoothie text of different flavors. And this will happen for like the rest of their life, every day at lunch. So it's a great service. And it's free, and it's called Smoothie Texts. That's plural, not singular. SmoothieTexts.com. And it's brand new. I just started talking to people about this. I've kind of adapted to this texting age we live in. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so I think it's the greatest thing ever. But if you like healthy smoothies, you can subscribe. It's free, and I think you'll love it. So let's get back to the talk. So, are you into fitness? Do you exercise? What do you do?
Yeah, religiously. Every single day, I try to go to the gym every single day. I do it mostly out of habit and for the discipline that it gives you.
How important is that for success, do you think?
I think it's huge. Not really because of the body aspect, but because it teaches you to take control of your life, and that it teaches you that success is a habit in any aspect. You know, if you stop going to the gym one day, it's done. It's not like you get fit and then you quit and then you stop. Same thing applies for business, for finances, even for relationships. Everything is habitual.
Yeah, that's such an important part. You know, you are what you think you are is so true. And also, you are what you eat. What you eat.
Yeah,
If you eat, do you ever notice when you eat shitty food, you feel like shit? When you eat
always.
good food, you feel good. It's just unbelievable how that works. And I think everyone can relate to that, you know? And so I know for myself, fitness and nutrition has been huge because like I'm 60 right now. I'm 61. I want to get like another life. I want to get like 30 more. So I'll get to like 90. So that's like 2 lives out of one. But to do that, you gotta like take
You got
care
to
of
be
yourself.
healthy. You got
Because
to.
like you're
Yeah.
you're 21 now. Let's say you're 20. Let's go backwards a year. Do
Yeah.
you know you have like 60 years ahead of you, dude.
I can't even imagine. I already feel old. I already feel 21 is already kind of scary. I mean,
This is
30
my
is
point.
next.
You've got like 70 years. Take it easy, right? Just pace
Yeah.
yourself. And so but to do that, you have to have the energy, and you have to have exercise and fitness. And I believe that's a huge part
Oh, yeah.
uh, of being, a fighter. Because the fighting entrepreneur is, the fighting networker, and any fighting person is, you got to have a lot of energy to fight, because it's every day. It's not just once in a while.
It's every single day. It's a subscription you
Every
got to pay
single
every day.
day.
Every
Yeah.
single day.
And the mindset, that's where the fight starts. So how do you deal with mindset? Talk to me about how mindset has helped you.
Oh, mindset is kind of where where the fight really starts, right? Uh, Everything is like a mental battle, especially when you're going through hard times, especially when life wants to shake you off its trail. When you try to walk your own road, start your own business, start your own thing, invest your cash, there are so many obstacles that are going to get in the way. And if you don't have a good mindset, you're going to crumble, you're going to fall apart, and you're going to go back to your comfort zone, back to square one. So the biggest thing when it comes to mindset is learning how to deal with failure, right? And one thing I learned how to do, I'm sure you have too in your entrepreneurial journeys, is you almost learn to fall in love with it. Every time you fail, it's like you get a lesson, you get another part of your story you can tell in the future when you made it, things like that. And when you learn to embrace that as part of the journey rather than, oh, I failed, I'm done, you really start to get the ball rolling. And I like to say, so many people fail, but not for themselves. You shed blood, sweat, and tears every day working a 9 to 5, working for someone else, but you won't do that for yourself. You won't shed blood, sweat, and tears every day at the gym or when you have to start your business or invest your cash. And when you realize that you're suffering for someone else's dream, that's when you wake up. That's when you realize, okay, if I'm going to suffer anyway, I'm going to suffer for me, for my dreams. And then it all becomes bearable. All the obstacles that come in the way, it's like nothing.
That's so important. And that's why most people, they do, as an entrepreneur, they don't do well. They struggle
Yeah.
because they have a problem with their thinking, their mindset. One of the biggest things I've noticed over the years working with thousands of young entrepreneurs and trying to do my best to help others to do their best, which is a big challenge, is the biggest thing I've seen is people, a lot of them, they just can't let go of fear. Fear has
Yeah.
been like, for me, I see it in people, they just struggle with fear. And that's the biggest stumbling block for so many entrepreneurs.
Yeah. It's a scary
How do you
thing.
deal with fear?
Well, people look at fear when the moment that they feel it, they think that's like a sign to back away and don't attack whatever they're looking for. They think that that's a sign of danger. For me, it's not so much about not being afraid. Life isn't about fearing nothing. Rather, it's about being able to overcome everything. The moment that I feel fear, it's almost like a sign to just do it, to just go. And I've trained myself with a lot of different things. At the moment that I feel some kind of uncertainty or some kind of doubt, I clear my mind and I just do it. Um, Fear is a scary thing, especially when starting a business, because there's so much risk involved. You have to take almost like a leap of faith to do your own thing. Um, but I believe, once again, if you just take that leap, whether you fail, I mean, be rational. What's the worst that can happen? You fail, you lose some cash, and then what? At least you tried. The fear of being 90 on my deathbed and thinking about what could have been if I just tried is far greater than the fear of failure to me.
Yeah, that fear thing is such an important. And if you have a grip on fear, you can, like you said, you can get over it. But if you can't get over fear, it's a huge stumbling block. But what about your plan? Now you have a plan every day. When you get up, Sebastian,
Hmm.
what is the first thing that you do every day to help you with your mindset? Do you have any rituals you do, or do you read any books, or do you do any personal development, or what do you do? Anything at all?
Well, in all honesty, the first thing I do, I'm not sure if this is healthy, but I go straight to the gym. No breakfast, no nothing, because I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to talk my way out of working out. Because once I'm there and you work out, you shake everything off, you force yourself awake, then your day starts. There really is no turning back from that point. If you can kickstart your day, even if it's something more simple than that, just taking a shower as soon as you wake up or whatever, that kind of gives you the momentum you need for everything else.
What time do you get to the gym?
I try to get to the gym every morning at around 7 or 8 so I can get back in time for my meetings every day that I do for my business.
And so your business is at your home.
I do run it from home. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted the freedom to run it from wherever I wanted.
Yeah, yeah. And I love, for me, I've always had the gym in the home. So here's my studio office where I'm in now. But then right through that door over there is my gym.
That's convenient.
So I
I
can
gotta
go
I
get
gotta
my
drive every
workout,
day.
and then I can pivot back and go pick up something that I left off on. You know what I mean? Because like I could be in my gym clothes right now, you wouldn't know it. And I could even be sweaty and stinky. You wouldn't know that either.
I can't smell you. No, I can't. Yeah, it's convenient.
But I'll tell you, I love working from home too. For me, it's been the greatest blessing in the world.
Yeah.
But people have always been into health, right? People have always been into like taking care of themselves,
Yeah.
but they're not good at it.
That's the
And
thing.
so for me, when I started talking like about healthy smoothie mixes back like in the mid '80s, there was no one heard about healthy smoothie mixes. Now today, it's like it's
Everyone.
hot. Everybody's into it. It's
Everywhere.
like hip,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
and but I've always loved what I do. I could talk all day about what I do, and I know you could too. So where do you go? Who do you like? Who do you talk to? Do you have scheduled talks that you meet with people? How do you do that in your plan?
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever any of my members from Sox Uni will set a time with me, I sit down with them. A lot of other members will also attend those meetings, and I get to teach, I get to learn. There's even an option to schedule times with me just to talk for the sake of it. If you have problems with mindset, if you want to start your own business or something like that, and you just want some advice, things like that, I'm always down for it. I love talking with people, especially
So
when it comes.
would you consider, because I love doing strategy sessions with people. That's one of the things I do every week, as well as a bunch of other things. But these one-on-one strategy sessions, this is a
Mhm.
big thing today. Everyone's doing strategy sessions, these video. I like it video, but some people like it audio. Do you do something like that with people that want to talk?
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I do. There's an option on my website to schedule exactly that, where I sit down and I do exactly what you're saying, like a strategy, for different things. Sometimes it's a budgeting plan for how you need to be buying your trades if you're starting with less money, or okay, now you are at 4 or 5 grand from your profit. How do you preserve that? How do you expand and grow exponentially? So I do strategies whenever people schedule them with me.
That's really great. What do you, if you were to charge for this, how much would something like that cost someone? For how long do you do the strategy call? I know my sessions, I've been told it's like $100 session. For me, it's priceless, but the point is I don't charge people for it, but it does have some value. What about your thing?
Well, I'm kind of on the same boat. I definitely believe that I'm definitely undercharging. But what I currently charge for those things is $34 a month, right? And you can schedule up to 4. Now other people sit in, sometimes you can make it private. But I definitely believe that is definitely worth a lot more. But like I said, I believe in creating something accessible for people that can
Yeah.
provide value and help people get started. Everyone's scared to start, and a big reason, so many places charge, there's a lot of teachers that will charge thousands and thousands of dollars for an hour of their time. That's scary. That's a commitment, for a lot
Oh,
of
well,
people.
it's big because there's a chance you could lose that money.
Yeah,
You
exactly,
know?
and a lot of people, they're already dealing with the fear of the risk of having to put money into a trading account to
Yeah.
trade. There's a fear of, okay, is this guy really going to teach me well? There's a fear of, I don't want to spend $1,000 on a lesson here, So I kill all 3 of those at once. I give a free month, I charge very little, and I look to just provide value upon value. That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, because now in your younger days as an entrepreneur, you want to build up your portfolio of success
Exactly.
stories.
That's a
And
big
then
one, yeah.
you can have that on your site. Okay, so I know you love mindset. I know it sounds like you got a good plan going on, but with your plan, you also have to have, I mean, I know because of experience, you have to have balance with your family.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a family going on?
Yeah, well, not my own. I'm 21. I'm
Yeah,
looking to
I
hold
get
off
it.
a little bit
But
on
you've
that.
got mom and dad, you've got brothers and
Yeah,
sisters.
yeah.
So is family an important part of your life?
It's a huge thing for me. We're a small family. Like I said, I'm an only child. We're a small family. We came here from
Oh yeah, no brothers,
Venezuela
no
when I was
sisters.
young. Yeah, no
That's
siblings for me.
tough. That's tough.
It's been nice because we know we're a small family. We don't really have much family here. All our families
Okay,
in other
I
countries.
got you.
So it's really all about trying to help out my family as much as I can.
Yeah.
My whole purpose in life for wanting to do everything that I do is I want to retire them as soon as possible, comfortably. That's a big thing. I don't want to just throw them in a home. I want to really, really, really be able to provide for them, give them the life that they truly deserve.
Oh, you want to take care of your mom. You want to get them in a home.
No, I don't want to just throw them in a home and forget about them. That's a big thing, right?
You want to buy a home for your mom. Is that what you
Yeah,
said to me?
yeah. I want to be able to yeah, just buy them a home, buy them alleviate all of their debt, all of their everything. And I'm not too far from that goal, but it's my biggest goal is I want to provide for my family and create something that everyone can really benefit from.
Yeah, that'll make you feel good. And after a while it wears off and then you have to set another
Another
goal.
one. That's a big thing. Well, it's always an incline. One thing that I like to say is I'm always grateful for everything that I have, right? But never satisfied. Satisfaction doesn't exist. That's not a real
Yeah.
human emotion, right? You don't just get promoted and then your life's done. Okay, I achieved my goal, now I'm done, right? No, you set a new goal, you keep climbing, and that's how you stay happy in life because there's always a purpose, there's always something to chase. And I find a lot of happiness in the pursuit of things, in the pursuit of
What are
dreams.
your goals? What are your goals, say in the next year with your new business? Do you have goals? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, just I generally want to just keep expanding and adding as much value as possible. I don't intend to raise my prices. I actually intend to just add more to my business. And that's my biggest goal. I want to become the number one place where people go to learn because there simply is no better place. Everywhere else will charge you more, they'll teach you less, and they won't provide the same results that I do. So I want to really spread the word, get the name out there, and add as much value as I can.
So this is your goal because you're working on becoming that. So that's a good thing. Because you're talking like you already did it, and that's good. You got some confidence. I think you're going to do good. Now we're going to make a commitment next year, right? You're going to come
Oh
back.
yeah. Set the date. Set the date. I'll be here in a year.
And we're going to have, what name will you be then? Will you just be Sebastian, the teacher? Or?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I have my social media set to Sebastian Trader, and I might change the whole business name to that because it's a little bit more personal.
Sebastian Trader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sebastian, just very simple. Sebastian
All
Trader. I might
right.
change.
All right. Okay, that's good. So, when you go to bed every night, tell me, and I believe this truly, if you feel like you haven't done well, it really affects how you get up in the morning and start your days. I
Yeah,
believe that it's so important at the end of the day, and you have to do this early on as an entrepreneur. You have to work on going to bed feeling like a winner, feeling
that's a
like
big
you're
thing.
on track. And so that means you have to be doing stuff during the day that's important. The things that are so important that we need to do to build our business is only a handful of things. But if you don't do that handful of stuff that you need to do every day, you go to bed, you don't feel good about yourself. So tell me the 3, 4, 5 things that you have to do every day. So when you go to bed at night, you feel like a winner.
Well, that's a big thing. Not even go. It's not even about going to bed, man. I can't even eat right. I feel like I have to earn everything every single day. It's always a hunt every single day. I can't watch TV. I can't go on my phone without feeling bad if I didn't achieve what I wanted to that day. Every single day, it's got to go gym. Always for the sake of discipline. I feel terrible if I don't go to the gym.
Yep.
I have to, do like my typical business maintenance, do my phone calls, do my meetings, do all that stuff. So it's one thing for my body, one thing for my business. And then the other big thing I try to do every single day is growth, expand in something, get better at something. Even if it's read, whether it's expand my mind or expand my business, get on some marketing, pay for some ads and things like that. I have to grow because half of my day is focused on maintenance. Going to the gym, that's maintaining my body. Working on my business, that's maintenance. But the other half has to be growth. If you're only ever maintaining, you're never growing, You're
Do you
never
have any teachers? Do you have any mentors? Anybody, any secrets you want to share about that?
The way I view it, I have a ton of mentors. My dad, everyone who taught me about the stock market when I was learning. I learned from everyone. I view everyone as a mentor. Even you, Michael. I can learn from everyone, man. That's a big
I
thing.
don't know if you wanted me as your mentor.
Hey, who
You know
knows? Maybe you can
something?
teach me how to make some good smoothies.
We all need mentors. Mine was Jim Rohn, and for 13 years, Jim Rohn was he passed away. He was a philosopher, world renowned, great author. He worked with corporate America, helping to grow businesses, and the guy just has an amazing history. But Jim Rohn changed my life. He was an older guy, and I listened to what he said, and he just knew how to talk, and he knew how to communicate in a way where I believed I could do it. Like when he was talking, he'd be talking to a bunch of people. It was like he was talking right to me. And one of the most important things that Jim taught me, and it's real basic, you know this, I'm sure, is for things to change in your life, your family doesn't have to change, your job doesn't have to change, the government doesn't have to change. What has to change for things to change is that you have to change. If things are going to get better, you have to get better. Your family doesn't have to get better. Your boss doesn't have to get better. The economy doesn't have to get better. And so when he said that back in 1987, when I heard it the first time, it was like he was saying it to me, but he was saying it to a bunch of people. And it stuck with me. And it was one of the most important things that just stuck with me and helped me so much through the mature phases as an entrepreneur. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. You can't point the finger and say, for things to change, that has to change. Because as soon as you point at that, you're done. You got to point at this.
That's a big thing. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Always been my biggest obstacle with everything. I mean, even when life has thrown things at me, I've always viewed my biggest obstacle as myself. Always, because it's a mental battle. It's you against the world, nothing else. And when you blame other things or say that has to change, like you're saying, you're depriving yourself from an opportunity of growth. That's the big thing. I believe there's a book I read. I have it right around here. Extreme Ownership. I love this. This is actually
nice.
You ask any secrets, any mentors. This is a huge one, and no one ever met in person.
Show it again.
There we go. Jocko Willink, the author of this book.
Oh, beautiful. That's a good one.
If you haven't read it, I recommend it. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love it.
This changed everything for me because it talks about how you have to. The only way to be an effective leader or effective in anything, is by taking accountability for everything. Extreme ownership. He literally blames himself for everything, but not in a negative way. When you blame yourself or take accountability for the things that happen in your life, what you're doing is acknowledging that there is something that you can do differently. If you view yourself as a victim to the world and all these bad things happen to me, really what you're saying is there's no room to improve. There's something that I could have done to be better. Nope, I'm just a victim, But when you take accountability, that's like saying, okay, maybe this isn't my fault, but I could have reacted better. I could react in a more positive way. I could take my life into my own hands and do something with that. That's a big thing. When I realized that, I realized like exactly what you said. If you want things to change, you have to change. Nothing else.
Right. Yeah, and I love that you put in there, Sebastian, that even when maybe something bad happened and it wasn't because of you, someone else did it, you still have to say, I've got to change. You can't blame
Exactly.
them.
Never.
Yeah.
You got to think
Yeah.
about, at the very least, when life throws things at you, you still control one thing. And as a matter of fact, it's the one thing that you control always, and that's yourself. You change how you react to things at the very least, you know. And I see so many people waste life opportunities because every obstacle that life throws at you really is an opportunity in disguise. And they waste it by being victims. They love to play the victim role because it's easy to be a victim. It's comfortable to say, poor me, you know. Uh, but I got sick of that at a very young age, and I'm very thankful for that. I got sick of that because I realized that I don't want to just be like a leaf in the wind, a victim of life at every turn. I want to make my life a victim of me. I want to take control. I want to make things change and things happen. And I don't want to just live life by luck. I don't want to just sit around waiting for things to line up for me and then be happy when they do. I want to make that happen. That was my big thing.
Yes. And that's why you're on the Fighting Network, because you are a fighter. And that's a
Yeah,
good thing.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it,
That's
man.
good.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've gone, I don't even know how long we've gone, but it's all good. And I think we covered a lot. But we're going to make sure, Sebastian, that we put in your description there, you know, the link. You're going to give me that later on. You're going to give me that link. So if somebody wants a one-on-one strategy session with you, that they can set that up with you, and you can practice on them, and they can benefit from what they get from you. Okay.
Absolutely. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, everybody, appreciate you all being here. We'll see you all next week. God bless all you do, and bye-bye, everyone.